What's going on, Tricky Trees? Welcome back to another absolutely mental day in the transfer world, and bloody hell have I got some news that's gonna blow your minds today. You know that feeling when you wake up and check your phone thinking it's gonna be another quiet Tuesday, but then boom, your club's gone absolutely mad in the transfer market. Well, that's exactly what's happening right now at the City Ground, and I'm telling you, what I'm about to reveal will have you jumping out of your seats. We're talking about three massive moves that are happening right under our noses. First, we've got a goalkeeper who's just walked through the door completely out of nowhere, and his signing is going to change everything about Forest's European campaign. Then there's a winger who's been tearing up the Premier League for years, and he's this close to reuniting with someone very special at Forest. And finally, there's a midfielder who most of you have probably never heard of, but trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be begging Forest to sign him. But here's the thing that's got me absolutely buzzing. All three of these moves are connected in ways you wouldn't expect. The first signing opens the door for the second, and the second creates space for the third. It's like watching a perfectly choreographed transfer masterclass. Now, before I dive into this madness, do me a favor. Smash that like button. If you're as excited as I am about Forest's transfer business this summer, and while you're at it, drop a comment below and tell me, what position do you think Forest needs to strengthen most urgently? Right then, let's start with the signing that literally nobody saw coming. And when I tell you who Forest have just announced, Angus Gunn! That's right, the Scottish shot stopper has just signed a one-year deal at the City Ground, and I'm telling you, this is one of the smartest pieces of business Forest have done in ages. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Why are we signing another goalkeeper when we've already got Matt Sells? But hold on, because this move is absolutely genius when you break it down. Forest have just let Matt Turner go back to New England Revolution on loan, which left them with a massive gap in their goalkeeping department. And Gunn, he's not just filling a gap, he's bringing something special to this squad. This lad made 35 appearances for Norwich in the championship last season, keeping 7 clean sheets and making 84 saves. But here's what gets me excited. He's been capped 16 times for Scotland and played every single game at Euro 2024. We're talking about an international pedigree here, folks. This isn't some random backup. This is a goalkeeper who's been performing at the highest level. And the best part, he came on a free transfer. While other clubs are throwing around $30 million for backup keepers, Forest have just pulled off a masterstroke. Gunn himself said, "I'm joining a good group of keepers, and I believe my experience will add something to the team. I can't wait to get going." But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is something most people are missing. With European football on the horizon, Forest are gonna need squad depth like never before. Sells will be the number one. But having Gunn as backup means Nuno can rotate without worrying about dropping quality. This signing isn't just about this season, it's about building for European success. The timing of this move is perfect too. Forest announced it just as they're ramping up their pursuit of their next target. And when I tell you who that is, you're going to understand exactly why the Gunn signing was so crucial. Adama Traore. Ahead, the absolute pace merchant from Fulham and Forest are this close to pulling off one of the most exciting signings of the summer. Listen to this. ESPN are reporting that conversations between Traore and Forest have been positive, and all parties are willing to make this deal happen. We're talking about a reunion that's been years in the making between Traore and Nuno Espirito Santo. You remember what happened when these two worked together at Wolves, right? Traore was absolutely unplayable. Nuno turned him from a player who couldn't hit a barn door into one of the most feared wingers in the Premier League. The Portuguese manager literally broke Wolves' transfer record to sign him for $18 million, and now he wants to work that magic again at Forest. But here's what's got me absolutely buzzing about this move. Forest lost Anthony Elanga to Newcastle, right? $55 million they got for him, which was brilliant business. But you can't just lose that pace and directness without replacing it. Traore gives you something different. He's got this ability to terrorize defenders in a way that very few players can. The tactical setup makes perfect sense too. With Dan Ndoye coming in as the main right winger, Traore would provide incredible depth and a completely different option off the bench. Imagine you're 1-0 down with 20 minutes to go, European football on the line, and Nuno brings on Traoré. Defenders must be having nightmares just thinking about it. And here's the kicker. Fulham are apparently ready to let him go. They know they're not offering European football, while Forest can give Traoré exactly what he's looking for. Plus, the Spanish winger has already worked with Nuno and knows exactly what he's about. What really tells you everything about this deal is how quickly it's moving. Forest made contact with his entourage last week, and within days, everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet. That doesn't happen unless the player is desperate to make the move. But do you know what the most exciting part about potentially signing Traoré is? It opens up possibilities for even more business. And the next target I'm about to tell you about could be the missing piece of the puzzle. MIDFIELD. Now I know most of you are thinking, who the hell is that? But trust me, this Danish midfielder from Red Bull Salzburg could be exactly what Forest need to complete their European squad. Here's why this signing makes so much sense. Forest have already spent $40 million on Dan and Doye. They're chasing Traoré for the wings, but they're still looking at midfield reinforcements. And Bidstrup, he's the perfect profile for what Nuno wants to achieve. This lad made 44 appearances for Salzburg last season. That's not just any team. That's a club with a proven track record of developing players who go on to dominate in bigger leagues. He helped them finish runners-up in the Austrian Bundesliga and even played in the FIFA Club World Cup. We're talking about a player who's been performing at the highest level against top opposition. But here's what excites me most about this potential signing. Forest are building something special here. They're not just buying players, they're building a squad that can compete on multiple fronts. With European football confirmed, they need that extra depth, especially in midfield, where the physical demands are going to be enormous. Think about it. You got your first choice midfield for Premier League games, but then you've got European fixtures on Thursday nights. You need players who can step in seamlessly, maintain the same intensity, the same quality. Bidstrup gives you that option without breaking the bank. The Danish connection is interesting too. Forest have always had success with Scandinavian players, and there's something about that mentality, that work ethic, that just fits perfectly with what Nuno is trying to build. These players come with that European experience, that understanding of different tactical systems. And here's the beautiful thing about this potential triple swoop. Gunn shores up the goalkeeping situation. Traoré adds that X factor in attack, and Bidstrup provides the midfield depth for European campaigns. It's like watching a chess master making the perfect moves. So here's my question for you, Tricky Trees. Which of these three signings gets you most excited? Are you buzzing about Gunn's experience between the sticks? Are you desperate to see Traoré tearing down that right flank? Or are you intrigued by the potential of Bidstrup adding that European quality to the midfield? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let me know which signing you think will have the biggest impact. And while you're down there, hit that subscribe button because we're going to be covering every twist and turn of Forest's European adventure. But before you go, here's something to think about. If Forest can pull off all three of these signings, where do you think they'll finish in the Premier League this season? And more importantly, how far can they go in Europe? The answer might surprise you, and I'll be diving deep into that in the next video.